Here's how you can create a Scratch project. First, go to scratch.mit.edu. After you've created an account, you should see a screen which looks like this. Then you can click Create, and it'll start a new project for you. If you would like to use the account as an actor, you can keep that sprite, or you could delete it and get a new sprite. I like Andy. Andy's got some nice moves. So let's take a look at those moves. Whenever you have a new sprite, or any sprite, then you have costumes, sounds, and code. The sound in this case, if you were to play it, sounds like a basketball. Costumes, Andy has some moves. And maybe I want to flip through those. Or maybe I want to have Andy move. Actually, if I flip through the costumes, so if I did this one and added that as part of the script, then Andy moves 10 steps. But I kind of like the idea of having Andy glide. So, and when I first went through this, I just went down through each of these and tried every one of these, like, what does this do, what does this do? But I'm going to show you really quick minimum requirements for this particular assignment. If I wanted Andy to glide, I could do that. If I want Andy to glide maybe back and forth, so in the center, Andy's at 0, 0 is in the middle here. X gets smaller this way, bigger this way. You can see X here. And Y gets bigger that way and smaller that way. So watch how X and Y change. If I go down, Y gets smaller as I go down, which makes sense, right, from a math perspective. And Y gets bigger as I go up. Then it gets to about 0, close to 0 when I'm right in the center. X gets smaller this way and gets bigger this way. So if I want Andy to kind of glide around, I could start Andy here, and then I could say, let's glide for 1 second to, and let's pick a negative X location. Keep the Y the same, so maybe do negative 100 and see what happens. And then if I want Andy to glide back to the center, I could right click this and duplicate and change the 100 to a 0. So Andy kind of goes back and forth, right? Now, if I don't want to have to keep clicking that, because maybe I want Andy to kind of dodge back and forth 5 times, then I could go to Control and choose Repeat. And if I want Andy to do it 5 times, I would just change this to 5. And maybe I want Andy to change, do those different moves while moving back and forth. Remember, Andy has all these moves. If you go to looks, you'll see that there's one that says switch costume or next costume. So as Andy moves, Andy could also switch costume. We could have Andy switch costume every time they switch direction. Which is kind of cool. Now, for your assignment, you need 2 sprites, so I'm going to add another person. I'm going to choose the batter. I like the batter. I'm going to put the batter down here, and I really like the batter's moves, right? So I'm just going to flip through those costumes. I'm going to say next costume, and so I don't have to say it 4 times, I'm going to go to Control, and I'm going to say do that 4 times for me, please. And then let's see how that looks. Oh, it's too fast. I can't see it. It's under events. There is a wait. I just happen to know because I've used it many times. I'll put that inside the loop. So costume will switch. Then the person waits and switches 4 times so that they end up back where they started. Okay, the problem right now is I have to notice that each one has a different script, right? Because they're each different actors. And to have each one happen, I have to click each one separately, which I don't want to have to do. So there's a thing called events, where I can say when the flag is clicked, which is like the director yelling action, I can put that on top of each. And now when I click the flag, they both start doing their thing. And one more cool thing you might want to do is choose a stage, right? So over here under stage, you can go to choose a backdrop, and then maybe we can have them doing it in an Arctic scene. And now when we do it, click the flag. One last thing I want to show you, because a lot of times students want to have things show and hide depending on, and have one actor affect another actor. So what I could do is have Andy not showing initially. So I could go down to, it's probably under looks, and I could say initially hide, so we don't initially see Andy. Andy's doing their moves, but we can't see them on the screen. And then I want this person, the batter, to say when they're done, so to broadcast a message, which I'll create. So when they're done, after this loop happens 4 times, I'll say new message, batter done. And then when they get to the end of the 4 times through this loop, they'll shout basically batter done, and then I can have Andy waiting to hear that. So instead of when flag clicked, I still want to hide when the flag is clicked, but now I'll listen for when I receive batter done, then I'm going to show up. So under show, there's a, I don't want hide, I want show. So then when I receive batter done, I'll show up and I'll make my moves happen. And you can also use that broadcast message to change the background. You could have the batter hide after they're done broadcasting the message. So lots of different options. And after you're done, you can send your work to me by clicking on File. Hopefully you've given this a name. You don't have to, but it'll download with a good name if you do. Okay, then when you download, it'll have the name of the players with the .sb3 at the end. And this file should go into downloads by default, and it's what you're going to send to me through the Dropbox. Can't wait to see what you guys do.